Hello everyone and welcome to our LakePoint Kids online family experience. I'm Ms. Rachel and I'm happy you're joining me today. So happy, super happy. In fact, I've been sitting here anxiously waiting for you to arrive for the last 30 minutes because I have something new to share with you today. My family has been playing a lot of games lately, so we decided to do a game swap with another family to try out some different games. It's worked out really well, and I've had so much fun with one game in particular, I Spy Eagle Eye. Have you ever played it before? It's great, and the rules are pretty basic. Everyone is given a large board to look at with tons of pictures on it. Then you also get a card with just a few pictures on it. There will be at least one of those pictures from the card on your board. On the count of 3, everyone starts searching their board for one of the pictures on their card. The first person to find it rings the bell and gets to put their card to the side and grab a new one. The person who has found the most things and has the most cards ends up winning. So, I was thinking, do you want to give it a try and play it with me? I think it will be a lot of fun. Are you up for the challenge? Great! Alright, this is how we'll do it. So I'm going to show you a board and a card. Press pause and you and your family can work together to find something off the card while I work on one here. First one to find something says got it. Ready? Oh wow, you found it already? Good job. I haven't found anything here yet. Okay, here's another one. Ready? Go. You beat me again? Oh, you guys are fast. I'm very impressed. Okay, here's a new card. Ready? Begin. Seriously? You guys found it again? Oh, you're so good at this game. Oh my goodness, I still can't find one. All right, last time, but I'm gonna make this trickier for you since you are obviously champs. I'm not going to give you a card, I'm just going to tell you what to find, okay? See if you can find the letter R. Ready, go. How did you find it so quickly? Let me see if I can find it. Letter R, letter R. Here, no, no. Well, you know, it's kind of hard to find this when you're all staring at me. Talk about pressure. Maybe it's time to return this game to the owner anyways. It's not quite as much fun anymore. Now, any reason why you think I asked you to find the letter R? Well, yes, my name does start with the letter R, that's a good guess, but there was a special word, a really long word we talked about last week that started with the letter R. Do you remember what it is? Yes, you've got it, responsibility. Great job. Now, what is responsibility? Well, we define it as this. Responsibility is showing you can be trusted with what is expected of you. I'll count to 3 and then we'll say it together. 1, 2, 3. Responsibility is showing you can be trusted with what is expected of you. What is expected of you? Well, some expectations can change, can't they? Depending on who you are, who you're with, where you are, and how old you are. Like, you're expected to behave differently at age 10 than you were at age 5. You are expected to speak differently to your principal than you would to, say, your baby cousin. And you are expected to do different chores here in Canada than you would if you lived, say, in the jungles of Africa. I don't think unloading the dishwasher is probably one of the chores there. But the expectations we are talking about this month, they're ones that will never ever change, no matter who you are, who you're with, where you are, or even how old you are. In fact, you could say they're like rules. Rules for life that we should follow. And each week we'll learn about a different one. Now, maybe when you heard the word rules, you thought, oh, rules are the worst. Well, rules aren't really that bad. Think about what our world would be like if we didn't have rules. Take driving, for example. Would you want to be out on the road if there were no rules? I mean, think about it. No rules about which side of the road people would be allowed to drive on. No rules about how fast or how slow you could go. No rules about obeying stop signs or traffic lights. It'd be craziness out there, not to mention super scary and unsafe. Rules help create an environment or an experience that can be fun and safe for everyone. And just like our roads needs rules, real life needs some rules too. All right, time for another game. There have been a lot of games created over the years, and with some of them, the name grabs you and you instantly want to play it. Other games though, well, they might make you want to run away. Here's a list of 10 game names, but only 5 of them are actually real games. Talk together as a family to choose which 5 are real and which 5 are not. The challenge is though to do this in only 60 seconds. Are you ready? Here we go. So, is the PU the guessing game of smells on your birthday list? Me neither. I wouldn't trust that game enough to even open up the box. And speaking of trust, that word comes up in our memory verse of the month. This is what it says. Suppose you can be trusted with something very little. Then you can also be trusted with something very large. Luke 16, verse 10a, nerve. We talked about what this verse means last week. Do you remember? It's saying that when you prove to be responsible and trustworthy with something little, people will have confidence in trusting you to be responsible with something larger. Here's a little example. Pastor Nathan's family had a pet bird while he was growing up, but his younger brother really wanted a dog. One day, the family went on vacation for about a week. It was his younger brother's job to leave out enough food and water for the bird while they'd be away. All throughout their vacation, Pastor Nathan's younger brother talked about how much he wanted a dog. How will he take care of a dog? How much he should have a dog. He begged his parents for a dog and did his best to convince them that he could handle this responsibility. Well, after their vacation, they went home and realized that the younger brother had forgotten to leave out any water or food for their pet bird. Do you think he got a dog after that? No way. To be trusted with a greater responsibility, first you have to prove that you can handle the smaller one. All right, now that we know what our verse means, it's time to rehearse the verse. Suppose you can be trusted with something very little. Then you can also be trusted with something very large. Luke 16, verse 10a, nerve. And for our memory verse challenge today, I'm going to take this dice here and give it a roll, and it will tell us how many jumping jacks we're going to do as we say our verse. Oop, cut. Oop, oop, oop. Oop. Oh, 6. All right, ready, set, go. Suppose you can be trusted with something very little. Then you can also be trusted with something very large. Luke 16, verse 10a, nerve. Good work. Now let's roll the dice again. Oop, it says 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Suppose you can be trusted with something very little. Then you can also be trusted with something very large. Luke 16, verse 10a, nerve. Nice. One last time. Whoop, try again. The dice says 3. All right, ready, set, go. Suppose you can be trusted with something very little. Then you can also be trusted with something very large. Luke 16, verse 10a, nerve. Great job, everyone. So responsibility, what is it again? Well, responsibility is showing you can be trusted with what is expected of you. And our bottom line, or focus point of today is share what you have. Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. Share what you have. Sharing is something we all learned about when we were really little, right? But even though we learned about it a long time ago, it's still sometimes kind of hard to do. There are times when I think, I worked really hard for that, so don't I get to have it? Or, I kind of deserve this much more than that other person, so do I still have to share? Do you ever feel that way? Well, answers to this and so much more right now are coming up with the So-and-So Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for another round of life-size Hungry Hippos? Let's bring out our players!
Woo! I won't chew! Here we go, here we go, here we go. Bing bong.
Players, take your positions.
I'm ready. You ready, chicken?
All right. Here we go, Panda. Show them what we're made of.
Oh yeah, that's good center of gravity.
Get ready. Get set. Go!
Gotcha. Ha! Yes! Yes! All of them. Mine, not
And
yours.
they're
I am better.
grabbing the spheres.
I am superior. You are not. Oh,
Steven's
look at
looking
that.
like he's
That's
ahead.
your point.
Oh,
Wait,
Lawson's
wait.
really moving
Defense
across the
championships.
floor.
Come on, here we go. Come on.
They're neck and neck.
Soccer ball, chicken. Ah,
And
you're on the right. Go.
all the way across the floor, the Panda's really raking him across the coals. Steven's moving for the last big one.
I got the big ball. Basketball, basketball, basketball. Yeah. You got the. Where was that one? I didn't see.
Steven wins!
That's not fair. I didn't even see the big one. Fine. Look at that. I'll spot you a point. You can have that one.
May
I
the
didn't
best
want
man
anyway.
win. Because he won.
That's a good one. Okay,
What's next?
what's up?
Now it's time for life-size Jumanji.
Nope, I'm out.
Hey everybody, I'm Lawson.
And I'm Steven. Welcome to the So-and-So Show.
Oh, look at that. A comic book falling from the sky. It's a literary miracle.
Yeah, more like a out-of-control comic book collection.
What? No. Don't say that. They'll hear you.
Who? The drawings? Okay, seriously, Lawson, can you please explain what's going on here?
What, a guy can't like comics?
This is not liking comics. This is preventing us from being able to do literally anything on the show today.
Not true.
Look, these comics are all the same.
Yeah, Frog Defenders of Saturn, issue number 106.
It says 109.
It's a misprint, and that's what makes it more valuable.
Wait a minute, are you telling me that all of these are Frog Defenders of Saturn issue 109?
106.
Why?
Because they're mine, Steven. They're all mine.
But if they're all yours, that means nobody else can have one.
Precisely.
How much did all this cost you?
A lot.
And you think this is a wise investment?
Oh yeah, no, my investment coach is completely on board with my fiscal choices.
What? How do you know the word fiscal? And also, your investment coach?
Yes. Why don't you welcome someone who knows stuff? Welcome to the show, Mr. Moneybags.
Hello there, Lawson. Greetings, Stephen.
Hello, Mr.
Mr. Moneybags, that is correct. I love money.
You ever play Monopoly?
Oh, I love having monopolies.
Oh. Okay, well, we know who you are, so why don't you tell us what you know?
Oh, of course, it's all in the name, my boy. It's all in the name.
That's my friend.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
I know money! Bags and bags of money. With money, anything you want is yours for the taking and for the keeping. Remember that, Lawson, my boy?
Exactly, right, yes. And I've been applying what you taught me to my comic book collection.
Ooh.
All for me, and yes, it's true. I want all the comics show. Oh, well, for you.
Ah, bravo, bravo.
Well, that doesn't seem very nice.
Lawson, whenever a friend asks me for a favor, do you know what I tell them?
Oh, yeah, I know this one. You say,
I tell them no. All right? I tell them no. You don't need friends or favors in this life. Remember that all you need is pennies, quarters, and dollar bills raining from the sky. Those are your real friends.
but you do have friends that are real people, though, right? Right.
Oh, of course I do. Of course I do. If you consider Mr. Franklin and Mr. Hamilton. Oh, hello there, Mr. Hamilton. Oh, you're looking mighty green today. Well, thank you, Mr. Franklin. Oh, I'll take that as a compliment.
Is this my future?
Oh, by the way, thank you for inventing electricity. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, and thank you for not throwing away your opportunity.
Okay, it's Bible story time with Kellen.
I need more of these.
Hey guys.
Hey, Kellen.
Hey, Kellen, what do you have for us today?
Well, today we're looking at a parable that Jesus taught, sometimes called the parable of the rich fool.
Did somebody say rich?
Yeah, I did, Mr.
Mr. Archibald Moneybags, son. Mr. Archibald Moneybags. But you may call me Mr. Moneybags.
Okay, Mr. Moneybags. Clearly you're rich, but the person in the story was also a...
Oh, no. I'd be happy to help you tell your little story there, son. And, mark my words, you won't regret it.
Oh, boy. Well, anyway, a parable, if you didn't know, is a story that has a lesson at the end. Jesus used stories sometimes to help people see what he was talking about in different ways. On this occasion, Jesus was teaching when someone said, "Teacher, tell my brother to give me half the stuff that belongs to our family." Now, they must have been having an argument over something about like who has the most stuff. So Jesus said, "Watch out. Be on your guard against wanting to have more and more things. Life is not made up of how much a person has." Then Jesus tells them a story. There once was a rich man.
Boo-yay! Oh, I will add this to the 25 smackaroos I won in that beauty contest.
One year, his land produced a very large crop.
Look at all of my crops. Stupendous. But what should I do? I don't have anywhere to store all of these crops. And there is no way I could use all of these crops in just one season all by myself. What to do? What to do? Light bulb! I will take all of my barns and tear them down. Wait for it. Tear them down. But then build bigger ones. And then I will store all of my crops in these newer, larger barns. Ooh. You know, I have plenty of crops, and these crops are going to last me for a long time. I mean, many, many years long time. So I should probably just take life a little easy. I suppose I'll just eat and drink and have a really good time.
But God said to him,
"You foolish man, tonight I will take your life away from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself?"
No! Oh, my corn! Ah! Now there's so many bulls! Ah!
To be clear, there were no, and I repeat, no inflatable kiddie pools in Jesus' story. But the rich man did die, and he never got to enjoy all the crops he had stored away for himself. Then Jesus said, that is how it will be for whoever stores things away for themselves, but is not rich in the sight of God. The end.
Wow. That was quite the ending.
Yeah, I think the point Jesus was trying to make is that we only have so much time here on earth. Do we want to spend it caring about all the stuff we have? Or do we want to spend our time caring for the people we love?
Yeah. Instead of keeping all the crops to himself, the rich guy could have shared with the people around him.
And I think that's what Jesus meant when he said we should be rich in the sight of God.
I think you're right. And that sounds like my job is done here. I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Kellen.
Bye, Kellen. Steven,
Yes, Lawson.
I think I might be hoarding comic books.
Might be.
I don't want to die like the rich fool in Jesus' story. I don't want to end up friendless and alone.
I'm your friend.
Not now, Steven. I have to do something. What should I do? What should I do? I don't... The light bulb. Reveal the question.
What do you have that you can share?
Comic books.
Yeah.
I have so many. You get a comic. You get a comic. You get a comic. You get a comic.
Lawson?
You get a comic.
Thank you.
What do you have that you could share? Could be stuff you have, or you could share your time or your talents.
It's our responsibility to share what we have, and it's one of our rules for life. Share what you have.
Talk about what you have to share with each other.
And we'll see you next week. I'm Steven.
And I'm Lawson.
And this was the So-and-So Show.
Bow, 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 bow.
Hello? It's not about money anymore for me. No, not at all. I'm going to share from now on. Yes. Sharing is caring. I'm going to change my name even. I changed my name. It's not Mr. Moneybags anymore. No. See? It's gone. In fact, my name is Mr. Empty Pockets. That's right. I'm Mr. Empty Pockets now because I give away so much money that my pockets are empty. Hello?
Rich in God's eyes is not keeping everything for ourselves, but sharing with others. And that's the opposite of what our world says, though, isn't it? Our world says that we should just keep getting more and more and more for ourselves. But living like that will only leave you empty on the inside. That man in the story had such a great big crop that he didn't need it all. He couldn't even use it all. But instead of sharing it with friends and family, instead of giving some to those who were in need and hungry, he held on to it all for himself. You know, someone once told me that if we are given extra things in this life, things we don't really need, then maybe it's not actually meant for us. Maybe we are to find someone who really needs it and pass it along to them. Remember, we aren't rich with what we keep. We become rich with how much we are willing to share. And you can share your things, you can share your time, you can share your money, you can share your talents or your abilities. Keep what you need, but then find others who need it too. And when you do this, know that God sees us and is pleased, for you are rich in a way that really matters. It's time to bring it home with our small group time, so along with your parent, listen to today's instructions. First off, add our bottom line to the Rules for Life poster or board you made last week. Now we'll have 2 rules: love God, love others, and share what you have. Then talk together about what you have that you could share. Maybe it's spare time that you could use to send letters or pictures to people who might be sick or lonely. Maybe you have extra toys or books that you could donate to a daycare or a doctor's office. Whatever you have to share and give to others, I'm confident there is someone somewhere who would really appreciate it. If you need help finding a person or a place to share your things with, send me an email and I'd love to be able to help you. Now press pause, complete the activity, and then come back for the second set of instructions. For a second activity, I want you to play Memory Verse Old Maid. Cut out enough squares or cards to write out the memory verse 2 times, 1 word per square. Then add 1 more card and draw a sad face on it. Then mix up all the cards and divide them evenly between all who are playing. If you have any matches in your hand, lay them down. Then take turns going around in a circle, drawing a card from the person on your left and laying down your matches. The goal is not to be left with the sad face card in your hand. After playing the game, hold on to the cards because you'll need them again in a couple weeks for another fun game. We have an exciting new prize each week this month for one lucky family, your choice between a sampler set of Adventures in Odyssey CDs or a Bible coloring book and some crayons. To have a chance at winning, parents, please take a picture of your child playing Memory Verse Old Maid. Please post that picture to our LakePoint Kids Facebook page or email to me at rachel@lakepoint.church. Parents, please take a moment right now to grab your phone and fill out the online connection card available on our LakePoint app. It's like our guest book, letting us know who is watching and helping us stay connected to you. It also allows you to sign up for our latest LakePoint initiatives and opportunities. So kids, while your parents pull out their phones and do that for the next 60 seconds, why don't you see how many things you can find around your house that have numbers on them? Are you ready? Go.
3, 2, 1.
Just a reminder that you can go back and watch your favorite LakePoint Kid online family experiences on our YouTube channel or on our LakePoint app in the Family Resources section. Thanks for tuning in, friends. I'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Remember, share what you have.